back to another episode of What the Fuck.
Natasha wanted to experiment because Yuri gave her some ideas. So we hired a prostitute and cut off her limbs. So she won't be able to click this episode because she just finished getting fucked. How do you feel after, by the way?
Oh, sorry. I thought we cut the prostitute's limbs off and fucked her, but no, it was I. The prostitute cut my limbs off.
Well, I cut your limbs off.
Then why is the prostitute here?
To fuck you.
Right.
Because you're like, I can't have sex with a worker.
Yes.
You can cut off my limbs.
But I won't fuck my subordinates.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, get fucked.
Principles.
Yes.
Principles.
Either way, she won't be clicking this episode because of that.
Okay. Oh, I'm still...
It's
okay.
a joke.
Okay.
Jesus
I
Christ.
thought maybe you wanted to do it.
I don't.
Anyway, moving on.
Uh-huh.
Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading.
Fidgety's fucking one way to describe it.
Swarming. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing.
Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine.
Wow, I hate that crazy face. It makes me nervous.
Yeah. I just need some water. Alright, don't put... Oh.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. That's new.
Yeah, no, all that's new.
Yeah.
I mean, she never wanted water before.
No, what on earth was that about?
Kiwi! Did something happen just now?
Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess?
So you don't know anything.
Oh.
I'm gonna move this closet.
Sorry, I can't say I do.
Can you push this close?
Yeah.
No, push the close, not the closet. So the closet.
Oh, and I unplugged the headphones.
Cool.
Classic Natash.
1 second, everyone.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I've ruined everything.
There. Now, it's easy to plug in. You just plug in the white part.
Well, I can't see a goddamn thing. Oh, yeah, that thing. Sorry, technical issues, folks.
She was just bumping the closet because she's coughing and shit.
Yeah.
We'll get to some water after this.
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh, no, not really.
I don't worry about anything.
I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her.
Yeah, fuck off. No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly. You just does this sometimes, so it's not alarming.
Alright, if you say so.
Have you seen her fucking eye? Like, what the fuck was that about?
Tyler, don't worry.
Just... Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other?
Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my poem to first?
It's your game.
No, for like reading.
Yeah, I know.
Pick Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort.
Hi, Kiwi! Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Wow, this is weird. It's like about Natsuki and Yuri just fingering each other on her bed?
Oof.
Don't worry, Kiwi. We're a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Kiwi. I was going to ooh in my head while reading it. You know, what with the it's really metaphorical. Like the whirlwind, whirlwind of boops. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. Or her eye is, at least. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. Although she should really check with the doctor. Like, you can't go around
That's very
with
concerning.
your eye falling off your face, you know? Like, if that happened to me, I would just hate myself. I would hate it if that happened to me. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her off with a kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must really starve for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for her alone time.
Yeah, I bet she does if she gets too stimulated.
What are you talking about?
She looks for alone time.
Yeah, what do you mean, Natasha?
Are you actually not getting the implications here, or are you fucking with me?
I'm a small high school girl, Natasha.
No, honestly, it just sounds like she's talking shit about everybody.
Alright, well, I think you're talking shit about everybody. Why'd you make fun of her eye? Huh, bitch? Wanna square up? Huh?
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Suddenly, the door opens.
Yuri!
I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Not really. Talk about your fuck eye.
What?
Nothing. Why are we all searching our phones with each other?
Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late.
No need to apologize. I was touching your button. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad you took all the time you needed.
Oh, I didn't touch my button. I had to put my book away.
My book, yes. Away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
I wasn't sure if you.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you forgot all that.
No, I was acknowledging you.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Thanks, Monica. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom again. I suppose I should get to my poem now.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
You sound pretty smart-assy for someone who claims to be an idiot. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then. Shall I? Or shall you? Shall you?
I'll read it. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on the flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle. Closing in on me, the air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. At the arcade. There must be a way out. It's the right here. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen.
Okay.
So the poems are different too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Even, I'm sure they have some meaning, but we're stupid here at the
Yeah.
show. Natasha's not stupid, but we're both not poem people.
I can be, but
Natasha's too shook. She's gonna.
I'm a little shook. I'm a little on edge. I'm just waiting for shit to get weirder.
So, what do you think?
Natasha's gonna do, like, once we finish this game, she's gonna do so much research to find out what everything means.
Oh, totally.
You'll be like Emily after we beat Silent Hill 2. She, like, literally spent all night looking up, like, Wikipedia posts and, like, learning all about Silent Hill and stuff.
Oh, totally. Well, like, you should have seen me when I finished Game of Thrones, man. It was...
But the difference between Game of Thrones and this, not diminishing the writing of Game of Thrones or anything, is Game of Thrones doesn't leave a lot open. Like, this game is gonna have, I'm sure, a lot of, like, open-ended things that could go a lot of ways. Game of Thrones isn't that. It's all solid stuff, which is still good. There's nothing wrong with it.
To a degree.
Well, there's stuff that isn't finished writing, more or less.
Yeah, but there's a lot... Yeah, anyway, I understand what you're saying, but... Yeah.
That's why I like horrors, because horror likes to leave things open, so your mind has to create things, which is...
Or is it lazy writing?
It can be both, but it's better for horror.
I'm just vaguely defensive over Game of Thrones. Don't even worry about it. No, I understand.
All the favorite seasons of Game of Thrones, the last few, weren't even wrote by that guy.
No, I know. That's why they were terrible.
Everybody likes the new
Visually,
season.
stunning. The budget was huge, but you can really tell when they are no longer working with his books. Because it's so obvious. We're not even... Why are we talking about Game of Thrones? This isn't a Game of Thrones show. Let's get back at her. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, the kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if you know how to put it. I guess you could say that I'm kind of empathy recently. epiphany. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try to hand hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about that is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
I really thought when she said, and remember this, I thought something weird was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're spacing it out so that you don't fucking...
They're trying to trick you into a false sense of security.
It's like, and when we played Fatal Frame, there's like this ghost that will grab your hand when you go for items, but it happens so inconsistently that it scares you every fucking time.
Like when Dayton was jumping that game?
No, it's a different game.
Oh, okay.
It's called Fatal Frame, so it's like a third-person game that you go around taking pictures of ghosts.
Right.
But there's items, and when you grab for items, it goes like super slow, and
Ooh,
a ghost hand,
hate that.
a ghost hand will like reach out and grab your hand, and it happens. So it'll happen to you, and you'll be like fuck, and then you'll be on edge for like 5 hours, and it won't happen. And then like you're like, as soon as you get confident about it not happening, it fucking comes again.
Yep,
and
classic.
It fucking scares you every goddamn time.
All right.
It's your game. You pick. Just pick a character, young lady.
All right, we're gonna show it to Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Not too much, I hope. Exceptional.
What was that?
Exceptional, I said.
Are you deaf?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate that you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
You lying bitch! Well, I know that. I just mean,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason why I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through this myself, I can kind of learn to pick up on them.
Oh, stop talking out your ass.
I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Sorry, the first time she did this, like the backtracking, oh, actually, you suck, because I was wrong.
Well...
You know what I mean? Oh, fuck.
It's fine.
I hate her eyeball. I hate the eyeball.
The first time she did it, she didn't say your poem was exceptional. That was the difference. This time she said your poem
No, but she said, you've written a lot before.
Yeah,
she said you're experienced.
Yeah, she's like, your experience, but she didn't say you were exceptional. And then
No, but regardless of that,
yeah.
she complimented you and then had to backtrack because you're like, no, I've never done this before. And you're like, oh, yeah, actually classic noob shit. Like, fuck off. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Not Skim could be a little biased, so...
Biased? How?
Oh. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Oh.
It's fine. And you know why it's fine, Jesse?
What?
Why is it fine?
I
have a theory.
Because it's the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, and make sure, my little friends, that you all remember, one book, when putting books up the butt, do it small, go big. Subscribe.
Goodbye.